All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are playing Codename Kids Next Door Operation Video Game. A game that is easily as good, possibly better than Mass Effect 3. You may be asking yourself, why exactly are we playing Codename Kids Next Door Operation Video Game? And the answer is A, I started playing it yesterday, and I was having a decently good time, like a surprisingly good time. And I was like,
deceptively good, maybe.
I did not expect this to be as fun as it is. Also, don't you mind that little emulation box up at the top there. We are playing on genuine Nintendo game rectangle.
Genuine emulation software.
That's right. I paid good money for this computer that can pretend to be a Nintendo Gamecube.
That's right.
Let's go ahead and get started. So,
man, big cell damage vibes from this, just from the UI.
No, you're not wrong. Cell damage is an option.
Which is a game that I care about and nobody else does.
I like the music. I know
you do. It's real good.
Like, I haven't played cell damage, but I've heard cell damage.
To the world. A world.
Do you have it on that emulator?
I do, I believe. I'm pretty sure I got it specifically because I knew that you would be asking about it.
A world where every precious moment
oh, hey, Joseph Joestar. Oh my god.
I was wondering how long it would take you to be like, oh right, Jojo.
Not very long, as it turns out.
Because he doesn't, like, mask his voice or do,
Not
like,
at all. He's got the one voice.
It's just the one voice. And I really like it.
It's the good one, to be fair. But it is just the one.
Yeah, it's just the one. But it is, like, I'm always happy whenever I hear it. I saw somebody sent me a clip.
The Kids Next Door.
Hell yeah, there's our group. I saw somebody sent me I was gonna say somebody sent me a photo. Photos don't have music, idiot. Somebody
Photos
sent me...
aren't real, they're made of foam latex.
That's right. Somebody sent me a video of just such a clip of JoJo, and I was like, oh my god, that's just number one.
Right?
I made it number one size.
Some of these guys look better than others. Number 2 looks great.
I think they all look pretty great.
This looks better than it should.
Did one of my new special moves.
And the facial animation has a surprising amount of work put into it.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I expected this game to be pretty bad, and I played it and I was like, you know, gameplay-wise it's average, but they got all of the same people. Like, there's no voices that are missing. You've got, like, Jen Hale and Mark Hamill and Cree Summer and Dee Bradley, but like, you've got everybody in here.
Wait, Jen Hale is in this? You're fucking with me.
No, she's in here. You'll know when you see her. But I'm not going to tell you.
Man, even when she's sneaking around, she's not on our side, number 2. Need I remind you that while Cree once used to be
the same voice
operative, she is now a teenager and our sworn enemy? Yeah, my sister may have taught me a few things.
I really wish that Cree Summer was doing, like... I don't see her getting a whole lot of work recently, but I really like her.
Someone hand me a controller, and I'll show you how a real Kids Next Door operative trains for a mission.
Oh shit, it's the Toilinator! Well, that was fast. It was really fast.
Wow, these graphics are amazing, and the sound effects just like the Toilinator! Exactly. By single-handedly flushing the kids next door, I'll become the most famous
Also,
villain
Tom Kenny,
ever.
if I'm not mistaken.
Book deals,
I think,
right?
movies.
He might be Dee Bradley Baker, but if he's not, he's Tom Kenny.
Well, of course
Dee Bradley Baker was like half of the cast in the show. Much like every Star Wars thing that's come out in like the last 10 years. Also, I saw...
I'm afraid to look it up now in case I'm wrong.
Welcome to the chat, Zell. I saw you in there a little while ago. I hope that you're down for whatever this stream turns into.
Oh, I love the smell
No.
of sewage in
I
the
hope
morning.
I hope you're down for games that my co-host here likes and nobody else does.
This stream is for me and for
nobody else.
If you're not down with that brand, then I'm sorry. This is officially, this is episode 2 of the Cartoon Block Party. Whenever this
I thought you were going to say
YouTube.
This is episode 2 of Mass Effect 3.
Welcome back to the N7HQ minigame. It's crazy that they emulated the entirety of the Nintendo GameCube platform.
Right down to all the toilet paper.
That's right. You know, Toilinator, I never got the impression, like, I never got exactly what his deal was supposed to be, like what his plan was supposed to be in any episode that he was in, because the joke was always that Toilinator sucks, and that's it.
Yeah.
But he's like, he's got something going on. He shows up twice this time.
Now that's an accurate simulation. Toilinator doesn't have a clue.
No, Toilinator just sucks.
Kids Next Door operating instructions.
Of course. Of course.
This is
I see.
This is a Ratchet and Clank. That's all this game is.
No, I'm saying, of course, that's Jen Hale.
Lock on.
Oh, if that's the case, Jen Hale is in here twice.
Wait, you didn't know?
I didn't know that she was the computer, but she is in
Totally.
here twice.
Door operating instructions. Checkpoint.
No, that's
totally
absolutely,
Jen Hale.
Yeah, that's Commander Shepard.
My toilet paper grenades aren't enough to wipe you out.
So you get a cool side dodge, which I like a whole lot.
Collectible item, health.
You get this health, which the candy looks awful. The candy is, I think, the thing in this game that looks the worst.
Kids Next Door collectible item.
The power shot.
Obviously.
I love, like, the naming convention in this show, and, like, everything having to do with how the 2x4 technology works.
Oh god, I forgot it was called that.
2x4 technology is just the best.
It's pretty good. I forgot.
So we get a spread shot that also slows down time.
And doesn't seem to be very good.
We need soda to charge it up.
Yeah, but I mean...
My terrifying toilets will be fully installed and plugged to the rim.
What seems to be bad to you?
Toilet paper!
Kids Next Door mission update.
Do you... Okay. Do you remember that weapon in EDF? The one that we have a clip about?
Yes.
It's like that.
The super spread shot? Yeah, hey, what's up? Welcome back. Codename Kids Next Door Operation Video Game is, you know, okay, so in the middle of those episodes, they always do a transition that's like the intermission for the longer story episodes. So just remind me to edit that in. And
I was gonna say, if you were not going to edit that in, then I think we're done here.
That's right. I'll edit in Operation Disconnect or whatever. And I'll do it every single time that either my computer or my router crashes.
Operation Comcast.
Operation Comcast. It should be no surprise that I have no idea what my ISP is, because I don't care enough to know.
I wonder what would happen if I threw this simulated toilinator out the window.
Let's do it. Defenestration.
Kids Next Door mission update.
So, of course, much like other games in the era, aside from Ratchet and Clank video gaming,
Kids Next Door mission update.
you've also got Collectathon, which is the other thing that you will be doing more often than not.
Oh, are these like your red coins?
So what these are,
Kids Next Door,
they're like your regular-ass coins,
unlocked.
except
Oh, but you pick up one and it just spawns a bunch of them, at least in that sequence.
in this sequence, yes. Throughout the rest of the game, they just drop for literally everything. Like, they're Mario coins. They're gonna be absolutely everywhere. But you unlock secrets.
You miserable kids next door mates.
If you get them in, like, multiples of 25, they start unlocking secrets. If you get at least 100 rainbow monkeys per level, you get some sort of, like,
Yeah, thanks. But
either
why
a
didn't
secret
you just tell me
unlocks
the
or you get, like, a
toilinator was
weapon
actually
upgrade,
attacking
something
the
like that.
treehouse?
Poor number one. After the battle, Boo Boo Rainbow Monkey will make it better.
The Stop it, stop it! I'm fine. Get that thing away from me.
Attention, Sector V! This is number 86. While you slackers have been lounging around doing nothing all day, there's been an incident at Kids Next Door.
That's her, by the way.
What kind of incident?
The kind of incident where all
I had no idea when I was a kid,
have escaped from our maximum security
but number
prison.
86 is absolutely also Jen Hale.
Yeah, now that I listen.
Because here's the thing, right? Number 86 doesn't sound like Commander Shepard, but she
Not at all.
does sound like Emma Emmerich.
I was just gonna say.
Super triple maximum security prison on the dark side of the moon.
An extra super triple maximum security prison?
So this game does look really good. You know what it needs?
What does it need?
It needs a shader.
It needs a shader. It also needs to stop showing number 4's face.
Yeah, because that's kind of like a thing, isn't it?
Like, he does show his eyes every once in a while, and it does look like that, but
But the shot composition needs to not look like that.
yeah, he needs a little something going on with the bottom of his hair, I think. Because it just looks like a bowl.
I'll go after Grandma Stuff'em. Numbers 2,
Or
3,
just fucking
and 5.
do the shot composition better.
A little something.
Hey, what about me?
This is still better
See?
than, like, a lot of... Yes. He looks a little
Still
washed
better
out.
than a lot of Mass Effect 3.
Yeah. You remember that car that Kai Lang, the Super Ninja, shot us down in?
Yeah.
That looks way worse than anything in this game. I'm gonna go ahead and say that
Yeah.
right now. At least this game has, like, consistency with its visuals. Unless you want to make the argument that Mass Effect 3's visuals are consistently bad, and I'll say that's true.
If you get 12 pieces of 2x4 technology, you get the bubble gum ball gun.
Did you have any idea that that's actually the weapon that you unlock in this level here?
I did.
Okay. I
It said it on
appreciate
top of the screen.
God damn it, you're not supposed to read those! Those are spoilers!
Not on my watch, Stuff'em.
If you want, I can just go play Nuclear Throne and not look at the stream. I can do that.
I
That
mean-
can very much be arranged.
Okay, hold on. Take a look at this. These Todd
Yeah.
rays here, this is more effort than they put into Mass Effect 3's story, I'll tell you that much right now.
To get those Todd rays happening.
That's right.
Oh my god, I love Todd rays.
Olives.
I love
Glad number 2
onion
is here to
and
see this.
liver and olive bagels. Oh man.
It's such a weird thing being an adult, right?
Because that doesn't
'Cause
sound
you
too
look-
bad.
You look at this and you're like, I would try like an onion bagel, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, well, an onion bagel and, like, I could see olives on an everything bagel.
I can't stand everything bagels. I hate them.
But see, okay, here's the
But
line that
do you
have
know
to draw,
why?
right?
Do you know why?
Why?
I'll tell you why. It's because to me they're everywhere bagels.
Oh, because you just get them all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing special about them.
I mean, they make a mess constantly.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I mean,
They're everywhere bagels.
they're literally poison to me, as you know, so
As most things are. That's not even remarkable.
no, it's not. You know what is remarkable, though?
Yeah.
It's important to point out that we are, in fact, not talking about bagels. We're talking about onion, liver, and olive donuts. Would you try that?
It depends on the kind of donut.
Okay.
Because if it's a cake donut, absolutely not.
But if it's like a doughy donut,
Yeah.
like
I
a
could,
yeast-based,
yeah, I could be into that.
I think so too. Then again, we already are old enough to be decommissioned, so
And then some. We're old enough to be part of the problem.
are you aware, by the way, part of the reason why Codename Kids Next Door entered into my stream of consciousness is because I've been trying to do a little bit of a revival for a while now, and it's gone nowhere. It was passed
Yeah, that
over.
sounds dire, to be honest.
It was
Now might
passed
be a
over.
good time to use that power shot.
Maybe. But what if I told you that it doesn't matter?
Still be fun.
Kids Next Door operatives.
Ledge grabs. Okay. We're gonna go
Thanks,
ahead.
Commander. We got the Commander Shepard VI. It finally happened. It was a long time coming, but we got it.
This is what happens if you download the Commander Shepard VI into Normandy, is that it just turns into
Kids Next
this.
Door operatives. Special move.
Grappler! Grabs readily available pipes pulling leaders upward hastily. Only number 1 can use it, apparently.
Obviously.
I love this.
It's for leaders.
Well,
That's what it said.
number 5 could probably use it too. She's the co-commander, and she's led Sector V in previous. I don't know why I know this, but I know it.
I believe that you know it. I am willing to take you at your word.
There's this whole like extra layer of lore about how
There's so much.
Abby doesn't ever want to lead again because something in the past happened, and like she completely screwed over or lost a bunch of her team.
Grandma Stuff'em, I will never allow you to deny kids the sugary sweet taste of Sprinkle Puff donuts. You're
Sprinkle
going
Puff
back
donuts.
to prison
I
where
could
you'll
go for
never
a
touch
Sprinkle
so much
Puff
as a
donut.
spatula again.
Yeah.
Oh, you sweet little boy. You'll never make it out of my oven uncooked.
That's
I was gonna say also familiar, but I don't know.
I forget her name, but she's Azula in Last Airbender.
She's Mandy then, pretty sure.
Great Isle.
Uh-huh.
I would. You know what? That checks out.
It
I'm
does
just-
check out.
I am so
She's
happy.
got some range, I have to say that.
She really does, and
She
I'm
has
so
very good
happy
range.
that like everybody in these games typically came back for them.
Yeah, they got the whole gang.
Like Ed Nettie does it too, and Ed Nettie is like a significantly bigger cast, I think. But you play the Misadventures, which we will. Those games
Oh,
absolutely.
No doubt.
Oh, shit. Okay, so platforming is the worst thing ever, even when it's shitty easy. Like, I'm terrible at it. This section goes on for way longer than you would think. Oh!
Oh, there's the depth perception.
There's that depth perception. Liver-loving inferno. All of the voice talent in this show was brilliant.
It was all really good. And this is one of those shows that I kind of slept on as a kid.
Which is funny.
I would watch it, but like only if it was on. I would never... It was not my Ed Nettie. It was not my Invader Zim, you know?
Right.
Or my Billy and Mandy, for that matter.
For me, Kids Next Door was one of like the golden childs of the network, right up there with like Billy and Mandy and Foster's Home and Samurai Jack. Like, super consistently excellent. Oh my God. Don't zoom in on number 1's face like head on though. That's really bad. That's a really bad angle for this model.
It's like when you see Beavis's face head on.
Now, how do I get up to this platform?
Gi-hugic. I like it.
I just so much... I adore the language and the naming conventions of this show. So this section...
Do you remember this level in Doom?
Oh boy, I would rather play the Doom one because you want to talk about depth perception and sequences that go on for way longer than you would think. I'm going to tell you right away, if anybody's watching the video, either now or later, I got legitimately dizzy playing this section when I was just playing it. I can only imagine it's going to be even harsher on my face and my eye holes this time. This one
Sometimes I wonder if I should be the one playing these kinds of games, because I have very good spatial reasoning and that kind of thing.
I mean, I have very bad reasoning in general.
You reject reasoning as a concept, which is both a strength and a weakness.
That's correct. I want it to be the way that it is for me. I want it to be the way that I want it to be.
You reject reality and substitute your own.
Yep. Oh, we're back to the bottom, but that's okay. We want to be
You got a
able
bunch of upgrade points. It's okay.
Yeah, you genuinely want to pick up those 2x4 technology bits. There's only 12 of them, but at the same time, I'm gonna tell you right away. I spent a long time doing this earlier, so that I could just grab all of the points and walk away and be like, what's the weapon that they give you? It's kind of underwhelming, but I still like it enough to get it.
May not be art, but I like it.
Is maybe how you could explain this whole game. This has some serious, like, Battle for Bikini Bottom vibes to it.
It's very much that kind of game.
Which, I don't know about... Look, I am fascinated by that kind of game, because obviously these games were given, like, negative budget, right? But at the same time...
And with that consideration in mind, like, this is astonishing.
Yeah,
when
like...
you think about it.
I like to see where these licensed games, where people put in the effort. Because at the time, you were like, oh, this isn't Halo, this isn't a Mario, this isn't, you know, one of those games. There's no value here, why would I play this? And now that
it's a licensed game.
But now that we live in the year that we live in, and we see the kind of
We live in
games,
a post-Mass Effect 3 world.
We live in a post-Cyberpunk 2077 on base console world. We can look back and be like, oh, wait. No, they had some ideas here. Somebody, somewhere tried.
Effort was put in.
Give me that upgrade. Oh, no, I need that upgrade point. I need that upgrade point.
Do need that upgrade point. Are they all in this section?
Yes. All 12 of them are in this, like, cylinder. This very Willy Wonka-esque cylinder.
You stole busy lifting drinks.
You need to expel in order to get it back to normal. Which, while I'm thinking about expelling things, I need to go ahead and also make a note, an editor's note to myself. Yeah, the Gamecube!
There it is.
I need to make an editor's note to myself to put in this timestamp so that I can put it at the beginning of this section in case people get dizzy. Because I am a little dizzy. Just a little bit. There's a story that I like to tell also about the very first time that I played... Well, okay, so the very first video game that I ever played, right, was Ocarina of Time.
Uh-huh.
And Ocarina of Time has that part in Zora's Domain where you jump out of like a hole in the wall and you drop like 70 feet. And obviously you're fine in the game, but I remember having nightmares about it as a kid, and it might have been the reason why I later developed a fear of heights. So maybe I should put that in the timestamp too. Just be like, yo, I make some big jumps in here, and they're kind of uncomfortable, to be honest with you.
A river of donut batter. Why, this factory can pump out enough spinach and liver donuts to force feed all the kids in the world.
Now let me ask you.
It may or may not surprise you that the first game I ever played was Doom.
That's a good one to start with.
Probably explains a lot about the kind of person I became.
Let me ask you a question, okay?
Yeah?
When I first played this section, I thought that I was going to have to find a way around here, like jump up and get down in order to get down to that platform.
Jump up to get down, yeah.
I assumed that this river of donut batter would harm me.
Not the case.
No, am I crazy? Like, it kind of seems like it would be, like, corrosive or something, right?
I mean, to me it just seems like it would push you away if you stand still. Does it even do that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing is shifting. It's more like a shape that you ride along.
Yeah. Don't eat it, though, because you'll get sick. Although probably not in this universe.
Not in this universe. In this universe, it'll make you stronger. But in our universe, you'll get, like, salmonella.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Nigel Uno. Agent extraordinaire. Pretty sure I can just skip this room mostly. Grab this.
Do you remember when the show had a crossover with Billy and Mandy?
I do. They had like the giant Grim in like dad pants that they had to blow up.
Yeah. Wait, are you thinking? You might be thinking of Detention X, which is a different episode.
No. There was the Grim Adventures. There was 2 of them. They had a crossover episode, and I think they had a crossover episode of Kids Next Door with Billy and Mandy. I think there were 2. But I remember the one that you're talking about. It was really good. There was one where, like, by the end of the episode, number 3 had stolen Grim's scythe and become the new Reaper.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Number 3 is great. They're all great.
You know, Grandma, I had a dream last night about eating a luscious gorilla gizzard dinner, complete with cockroach stuffing, rotten sweet potatoes, and moose brain gravy.
Ew.
Really? Actually, no.
Do you remember? There was excuse me, break for water. There was an episode of Codename Kids Next Door that focused on Grandma Stuff'em. And it was a rock opera.
Was it the musical one?
Yeah, it was a rock opera.
Yeah, I remember that one. That's the one I always think of when I think of that character.
And I often think of Grandma Stuff'em. She's Shakespearean.
Do you often think of the Slam Witch?
The Slam Witch is really good. I'm serious, man. Codename Kids Next Door was the shit. And it still holds up.
Listen. Slam Witch appreciators only on this channel.
Remind me at some point, when we eventually get to the point where we have emotes, which we do not have.
Slam Witch?
We need a Slam Witch icon. I'll make it happen. Get a Slam Witch and a Mega Slush.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, it can't quite handle all of the effects. It's a little crunchy.
Little bit, but that's to be expected.
Yeah, that's just fine. Oh my god, that was so many upgrades.
So what does the alt fire on this thing do?
The alt fire on this thing, it's a big ricochet shot. It's your Half-Life Combine.
Energy orb. Yeah. What up, pull for this?
What are you talking about? This game is equally on. This game is on par with all of the Half-Life oeuvre. You could show me footage of this game and convince me that it is in fact gameplay footage from Half-Life Alyx. They're indistinguishable.
I thought you were gonna say Half-Life 1, looking at these floor textures.
I love this floor texture. Could you imagine living in a world where, like, your entire your floor or your carpet looks like a blurry ass PS1 texture? That'd be kind of rad. Also,
JPEG land.
This wasn't even PS1. This was PS2. Let's keep that in mind. You ready for a boss fight?
So, haven't had enough of Grandma's cooking yet, I see.
Bring it on, Grandma Stuff'em.
It's time to trade in your oven mitts for handcuffs.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. But I'm afraid you haven't cleaned your plate yet, my skinny scarecrow. Not to worry. My chunk wagon has just this thing to help you children
Chunk wagon.
put some meat on your bones.
Looks like I should have ordered out to eat.
All right, bring it on. This one is actually a little... This one is a strange mix of both easy and difficult depending on what's going on, because there are only 3 buttons that you need to hit.
If my estimates are correct,
And it's
the
kind of
sugar
just
found in that jelly may be just what I need to burn through the chunk wagon's protective shield.
It's just a matter of hitting the buttons and then dealing with the ads that they throw at you. Because Grandma Stuff'em shoots at you. Oh god, this is... So what you're hearing right now, this little audio cue, is the one reason why I lowered the in-game audio as low as I did. Because it's so loud.
It's pretty loud.
It's louder than like anything else in the game.
Oh my god, that's the second time I have heard that particular stock sound effect. Like in recent memory.
Where was the first time you heard it?
In a different game a couple of days ago.
What, it wasn't
Wait, this
also...
is the third time.
Well, now I'm curious.
It is a stock sound effect that I have and am using for a project. I'll put it that way.
Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say...
But I also heard it in another game, and then I heard it in this game, and I'm like, oh boy, it's all coming together.
I'm telling you, they saved all of the best missions in Mass Effect for the DLC. This is... I mean, you've got the return of some well-loved characters, right? You've got your space guns back. This one fires bubble gum, but I mean, it looks like a space gun.
It's space gum.
What I'm saying is, what Mass Effect really needed was a character pack DLC where all of your squad mates are Sector V.
I'd be down for that.
You have to do, like, different loyalty missions. Okay, so here's my idea for those loyalty missions, right?
Yeah.
If you remember, one of the strengths of the Kids Next Door show was the fact that every episode had, like... Or they often had episodes that were, like, whole plot references. So, Abigail Lincoln had a multi-part series where she would do, like, Indiana Jones, but made of candy. That was, like, her whole thing.
I remember that one.
So you could do, like, or you had number 4, who had the Dragon Ball Z dodgeball fight against the dodgeball wizard.
I remember that one. I also remember the ocean made of asparagus.
Yeah, that one was just straight up Jaws and a little bit of Moby Dick.
It was both. Food everywhere and not a bite to eat.
And like number 4 starts thinking that the rainbow monkey is like a delicious cheeseburger.
I do remember that.
Bites into it. What I'm saying is Codename Kids Next Door was a great show.
It's pretty great, and I remember more of it than I thought I would.
It still holds up. I'm gonna say it. It, like I said, it and like, what else? It, Samurai Jack, and like Ed, Edd n Eddy and Foster's Home. Those shows are evergreen. You can still watch those. Dexter's Lab mostly still holds up. There's a couple of things in there that haven't aged super well, just because of it, you know, it was the 90s. But overall, I still really love Dexter's Lab. Stay tuned for our full playthrough of the Game Boy Color edition of Dexter's Laboratory Chess Challenge, in which you play chess against Mandark and Dee Dee and... Oh god, it's so loud!
Do you remember the games they had on the Cartoon Network website for Dexter's Lab?
I do. And do you know that I have all of them?
I do believe that. The two that spring to mind for me are the laser reflection game and the point-and-click game with all the different classes.
Yeah, those are really good. Courage the Cowardly Dog had a couple of those, like, point-and-click adventure ones, too, the same style.
Oh, I was probably too afraid to play those as a kid.
They were alright. Speaking of shit that's alright, can we talk about the music in this? Because, oh my god.
Surprisingly good.
Codename Kids Next Door has some awesome music. I don't know how to get the super secrets. I'll look into that. This is probably gonna be a 2-parter, I would assume. So maybe the second part, I'll take a look at how to get all those secrets.
It's just that all the toilets are
Maybe.
clogged with...
Depends on how hard or time-consuming it will
What
be.
did I tell you about trying to keep it in the bowl?
No, you don't understand. I haven't even gone yet. But there's this glowy green stuff all over the treehouse. In fact, it looks like someone blew their nose all over your bed, number one.
Snot everywhere. Sounds to me like
Oh,
the
I remember
uncommon
that
gross
episode.
Work of the common cold. Break out the
The
vitamin
common
C weapons and
cold.
wait for backup, number 4. Attention, kids next
They
door.
had such a
This
good
is
rogues
super double
gallery.
Code Blurpleberry. The treehouse is under attack.
Code Blurpleberry.
Number 5 is on the way.
All right, Stuff'em. Lunch
Do you
time's over.
remember
You're coming
the
with me.
episode with the crumbles?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that
Oh,
was
a bad one.
number 2
I mean-
had. Go ahead.
I mean, it wasn't a bad one, but it was a bad one.
It was really gross.
Yeah.
Like, way grosser than anything having to do with common cold was the like the film noir detective story episode starring number 2 about how, spoiler alert, the lunch lady made her apple crumble with pink eye crust from Kids in the Nurse.
Kids
It
Next
was
Door
the
operating
worst.
Instructions.
And it came back, like, a lot. I can think of at least 2 or maybe 3 different, I can think of at least 2, maybe 3 different episodes where you can just see Hoagie, like, snacking on them after having already learned what it was.
Yeah. You have
Okay.
a dodge button?
I don't think so. I have a punch, I have a kick, and I have a jump.
Oh, first game over.
Wow, I guess our any percent speed run is done. You can't submit this to
Wait, no.
AGDQ.
This isn't our first game over. You fell into a pit once.
Was that a game over?
Yeah?
I don't think it's timing based, right? Because she moves a little bit too slow. Okay. Do a side hop. Okay, yeah, you do a side hop. Any game with a side hop is a good game. I'm gonna say,
Although I tend to be more of a fan of games with more than one voice Foley sample. That's just me, though.
as we said, negative budget.
Shoestring budget.
They were actively taking money away from them as they were trying to make the game.
You have to pay us if you want to work on this game. That's just licensing.
Well, that's licensing, but that's also... I thought you were going to say you have to pay us if you want to continue playing the game, and I was going to be like, wow, they were really ahead of their time.
Wow, it's just Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
Wow, it's just any MMO.
It's just any game, man. Pretty much any game these days is that. I'm not saying that, like, this is better than Doom 2016. I'm willing to have that argument with you if you wanna ask me, but but games are definitely a lot more predatory towards the consumer now, I would say.
Turning players into payers.
Like, you know, you rent this from a Blockbuster, and the worst thing that
What you see is what you get.
like, the worst thing that you're gonna come away with is, oh, this game's not that great, but this is what I expected. You know?
The reasons that it's not great pertain strictly to the game.
But if you're like me and you just kind of want to see these characters interact in 3D, then that's pretty rad. I mean, it does that. Where the fuck am I going? Oh, is this just a really long sequence? Is that what this is?
I think that's what this is.
Okay, because I was gonna be like, is there a thing that I'm not jumping on, maybe? Okay, there we go. The awkward silence makes me really happy.
Wall jump.
Wall jump! Holy shit! Hold on, I need water for this. This game is great. I'm like way into this. Any game with a wall jump is also a good game. Even if I can't figure out how to make it work exactly. Oh, there we go. Yeah! Hell yeah! They didn't have to do that little swing animation, but I'm glad they did. Guess we're going this way. I mean, I guess. Oh, okay, up here. There we go. Platformers, not my strong suit. Do you remember there was, once upon a time, oh, damn. Once upon a time, there was a, like an ongoing, series of commercials that were like, you too could win, the Kids Next Door treehouse in your backyard, and it, like, supposedly cost like $1 million.
I think I do remember that.
I want to say Rebel Taxi did a video on that, and it may or may not have ever existed because nobody ever won. Which I think is awesome. Like, obviously, I think that's terrible, but I think that's also awesome.
Why did number 5 have to go and agree with number 1 about how cool laser defense beams would be?
Laser defense beams are pretty cool. Wait, is there a point? I just accidentally hit it, but is there a point? Oh, okay. I didn't hit it. I just made a noise and thought I hit it somehow.
I think that was you activating a checkpoint.
Now every time we have a problem, it's a complicated one.
Oh, look at all this bullshit.
This is fantastic. This is absolutely what navigating this treehouse would be like. Oh, God. Huh? Oh, nope. I'm dead. Cut to credits. Do-do-do-do-do. Executive producer, Mr. Warburton. I mean, the music is super triumphant, though.
Now every time we have a problem, it's a complicated one.
I think I would have probably gotten to this section when I was younger and probably quit. Because...
Oh yeah, this seems like a huge difficulty spike.
I've never, ever been good at platforming. It's part of the reason why after, oh man, and here I was hoping this would be a short video. It's part of the reason why the very first game I ever played was Ocarina of Time, and the second game I ever played was Mario 64. And I played Ocarina of Time significantly more. Ah, shit. Come on, I was on the platform that time. I don't even know why I fell there. But, I mean, I'll accept it. It does have like a... Her voice clip there has like a certain Toon Link Wind Waker vibe to me, though. This in particular reminds me a lot of the little obstacle course that you have to run.
You did not just do that.
In the very beginning of Wind Waker, like inside the pirate ship.
Why'd you always gotta make everything so complicated? Now every time we have a problem, it's a complicated one.
All right, we don't have to do a side jump. I thought we had to do a side jump, but I don't think we do.
Don't overthink it.
Oh no, that's not a good camera. Oh, Jesus
Would
Christ.
you agree with the sentiment that you doing any amount of thinking is overthinking?
Yeah, totally. Why would I ever have to think? Also, I'm a college graduate. But yeah, no, I don't like to think.
You're a college graduate, and here I am with my GED, supposedly being the smart one.
I mean, you're smarter than me, I'll say that for sure. Just because I went to college doesn't mean anything, it just means I wasted my time and my money.
All that having gone to college means is that they can't do this to you, because you went to college.
Joke's on them. I'm playing Codename Kids Next Door Operation Video Game on my Twitch.tv.
Oh man, they are not gonna make number 5's life any easier.
Oh, this looks like it could be tedious.
And annoying.
Okay, I can just drop it though. I can drop it as if it were hot.
It's not, but you can pretend.
I can pretend. I don't think I can jump quite enough to get up there.
Maybe if you hold the button. Maybe it's that kind of game.
No, this I only. Oh, I have a double jump. I have a double jump.
Oh, that'll do it.
Hey, how many times have I said also that any game with a double jump is a good game?
Many times.
Oh my god. Including this one. Thank you for watching my Game of the Year 2020 deliberations. So far, Codename Kids Next Door Operation Video Game is the best video game of 2020.
Time for some sugar, baby.
Main points of contention for my argument here being no microtransactions. I don't believe any of the developers were sexual perverts. And also, Neil Druckmann did not work on this game. You know what I would love?
What?
I would love to have, like, Jeff Keighley's Game Awards or whatever show up, and this game pops up on the screen for, like, best writing and direction.
Electrified floors? When did those get installed? Oh, man. They are not gonna make number 5's life any easier.
This stream would
It seems like putting it there is making your life harder.
I think so. Because, okay, what I want to do is I would want to put, like, a second one up there, which I could do if I threw it, and then, like, jump over that way. But I think, in effect, what you actually want to do is you want to jump up here. This is a safer path. And it's got rainbow monkeys. I don't know why that one is spinning, but okay.
They should all spin.
They should all spin.
They do all spin.
Oh,
neither of us have been paying attention.
Oh, well, that's on me. Only quality streams here on EndsvilleArcade.
That's right.
Okay,
Where we hold the cartoons of yore in the highest esteem.
I do.
And not much else.
That's correct. Oh! Brilliant. I love it. Is there anything as satisfying in a game than getting rid of laser beams with boxes?
Honestly, the way you said I love it just now just made me think of the orange in God Hand.
I wish I was better at games like God Hand, so that I could enjoy games like God Hand. Okay, I do have enough clearance to make that. I was like, that's the thing with platformers, is I always second and then triple guess myself.
Oh, there's a weapon upgrade over there, or whatever the hell. I don't actually know what she gets. It's like a helmet or something.
2x4 technology. Oh, there's only 3 of them. Okay. I was worried that I was going to have to do 12.
I hope you didn't miss one.
I hope so, too. I don't think I did, but it's also possible. Aside from, like, the limited voices in this game, the Foley is pretty decent.
Mission update.
Yeah.
Stinky green areas can make it hard for operatives to move. Acquire the smell mitt.
Smell mitt. So that's what it is.
So unless there's one in, like, this hallway, then I've missed one. And if I've missed one, I think I know where it would be. Oh, I wish that what this game does need is, like, a first-person look around.
Now that's the
Unless there's maybe one in here.
How can one villain make so
Oh, man. Wait, this is number 4's room. Yeah. I can't believe I know that. This is number 4's room. He's got the stereo speakers in the pool table.
As you can see, I've done a little redecorating.
That's definitely Tom Kenny.
My bedroom.
100%.
That's gotta be him.
Going too far, Flimface. Using my
Oh, it's number 5's. Okay, I'm wrong. No, number 4's got the boxing ring.
By the
That's
way,
right.
I
Yeah.
picked the color myself.
You just wait.
You ever seen Mission Hill, by the way?
Number 5 is gonna redecorate your face.
Once or twice.
Mission Hill's all right.
Just flip these
If
It was
only-
not on my to-watch list.
Number 5
That's
can
fair.
turn off the security system here.
It's a little bit of a dry humor, very of its time. But one of the cool things about Mission Hill is seeing Tom Kenny married to Tom Kenny.
That's pretty great.
Secret unlocked. Oh god, there are so... Look how many rainbow monkeys there are in this room!
Phew. Looks like old sneezy Mr. Spot.
And ice cream.
There better not be any boogers in number 5's favorite corner pocket.
Wait. What's the ice cream for?
It's your bar, your meter.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
As for what that meter does, I have no clue.
It's your devil hand. I don't know anything about Devil May Cry. All I know is that...
I thought you were saying God Hand, because Devil Hand is a thing in God Hand.
Okay, well that makes sense. No,
That's the guy with the Devil Hand is your Virgil.
Alright. The only thing
So Kree would have the Devil Hand.
basically the only things that I really remember about God Hand were Devil Power keeps my pimp hand strong, and all of the cutscenes and the characters in the cutscenes.
In number 5's DJ booth? Ooh, so asking for it.
Like, I remember what the characters look like, and I remember what most of those... I remember the rival dude, like your Virgil. I remember him.
The guy with the Devil Hand.
But I didn't remember that he had a devil hand. But that makes sense because you've got the God hand.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
Oh, camera, please. The camera really wants me to point towards that way, but I want to look and see what this is. No, camera, please. What if I claw the... No, I'm just gonna have to... Yep, alright. Sometimes make a leap of faith. Oh, this camera is real bad, though. That's one thing I will grant this game. This camera is not so good. Oh, there's another rainbow monkey down there. I need that monkey. Punch from down here, too. Because my assumption is, like, what? Usually when you put secrets in these games, you put in, like, concept art or trailers. And that's what I want to see. Interviews, in the case of Ed, Edd n Eddy Misadventures, that game has, like, mini interviews with the cast. And also that game has
That's pretty good.
It's got secret levels, too. It's got some really good secret levels. You remember how in Ed, Edd n Eddy, they would have the episodes that were, like, the Halloween ones, and they would be either creepier or they would be like, oh, this is the zombie episode, right?
Yeah.
They have 2 levels in the Misadventures that are based on that. They're both really good. Oh, platforming! Platforming, please! Oh, I don't want to jump for this rainbow monkey because I might just die. Look at it! Look! Okay, look at this! There we go. This is like... I played this game with ostensibly to chill out, to have like a chill stream, and instead I'm having like a conniption fit over platforming.
That's a brand. Conniption fit stream.
I'd say so.
Those lots of lousy malodorous emanations totally.
Okay, so now we got the Smellman, which, yeah, we still just do regular ass punch and kick. So it'll allow us into that zone. Ah, shit. Hey guys, what's up?
Are you seriously gonna try and collect every rainbow monkey?
Yeah. I mean, not every rainbow monkey, but...
Well, then where do you draw the line?
100 per level. 100 per level is what gets you secrets.
You should go back to that smell zone then.
Yeah, I have to.
Because there was like 15 of them in there or something.
Yeah, it won't let me in here.
Well, then fight the robots.
I should. Because these guys will drop them, right? Oh, apparently not.
Probably because they are recurring and they'll show up every time you trip the lights.
Well, the ones in Grandma Stuff'em's also did that. Like, they would just pop up out of the floor and keep coming at you. But they would drop them.
I seem to remember those ones, they would stop coming after a point.
Maybe.
Oh, wow, I can't do math. There's only 9 in there. Let nobody tell you that I'm good at eyeballing large numbers. Or any numbers, for that matter.
9 is like 15. Okay?
No, 5 is like 7, and 7 is like 3.
Oh, you can just jump over 2 of them. Okay. I'm willing to jump with you on this logic that 5 is like 7 and that 7 is like 3.
That hit the spot, baby.
But 9 is like 15. In that, for the purposes of me talking about it, things are what I want them to be. And that's as far as my
thought go with
process
the flow of bullshit.
Yeah. I say what I want to say. It might be right, it might be wrong, it's probably not going to be right.
You should press your special button and see what it does, whatever the hell it is.
It's a big kick. I can't seem to get through this room.
You have to kill all the robots so the security system goes back offline.
Oh. I'm glad you were paying attention.
I'm surprised I was paying attention.
What about this button? What does this button do? Oh, I can't do it yet.
Well, this is definitely the place to be asking that question.
I gotta kill them first, and then press the button. I think that's it.
That's all you got, snack for parades? And number 5 was just getting warmed up. Oh well, now let's see how you dance to the remix.
Cree Summer's the best. Cree Summer should be in JoJo.
I could see that.
Who would she be?
I don't know.
Okay. I see it now. It's a spotlight on the strobe light.
Mm-hmm. Panic at the Disco, you might say.
You might say that. Oh no. I better keep my health handy or this will in fact be the death of a bachelor. Alright, we're done. I had high hopes for this game. And the next thing that popped into my mind was like down to Mephisto's Cafe, and that's fucking Streetlight Manifesto, so... This is a really good security system. It's kind of awesome. That's the thing about the treehouse. The treehouse is like the coolest thing in the world.
It's just a bunch of disco ball spotlights.
Treehouse is just the coolest fucking thing ever.
There was a second switch that you had to hit. Did you hit it?
There's the one in the center of the room, and then...
Then there's the one on the wall.
Okay. I see it. Well, now that we're over here, I should be able to just get to it, right?
You made it out of the event horizon.
Codename Kids Next Door, Operation Event Horizon. I mean, that's honestly not too far off from where some of those special episodes went.
Yeah.
There we go. There might have
Now you should be able to hit the one at the booth.
Oh, now I gotta hit the one in the center.
Oh.
Yeah, that's also what I was thinking. Is like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. this is where I would go now. Now it's behind the DJ booth?
I suppose so. Yes.
This is daunting. Oh shit, okay. Never mind.
I don't know why you thought you could jump it. That's not how this shit works.
I thought it might be how it works, because I'm like, well, there's no way that they did it for the light shafts, right? They had to do it for the spots on the floor. But no, no. It's actually a little, it is more impressive that they did that.
At least it doesn't throw you all the way back.
Right, so now
that would be terrible.
Now it tells me that I can go behind there.
Well, yeah, that's the spot you were on, but you screwed it up. That was the stage that you were on.
I totally thought that I knew it was the stage that I was on, but like you said, I very much assumed that I would have to do all three. Wait. No, I do have to do all of them.
No, I think there's more than 3. This game does not adhere to the rule of 3.
I think I have to hit the one in the middle, then hit the one on the wall, hit the one up here.
Then you go back. You hit the one in the middle, you hit the one on the wall, then you hit the one in the middle again. Now you hit the one at the booth, then you go back and hit the one in the middle again.
Why?
And maybe that'll be the end of it, maybe it won't.
My question is why. Also, I can outrun these, which I did not. I assumed that I would not be able to outrun them.
Well. If it isn't one of the common cold snipers...
Oh, it's the golden sculptulas.
Ain't nothing number 5 can't handle.
Oh, thank fuck. These are gone. I was gonna say. Okay, now how in the world... Oh, it doesn't... It's fine. Follow me over here.
The common cold is just like, what if we took the bio rifle from Unreal Tournament and turned it into, like, a villain?
But yeah.
It's the same concept.
He said exactly that, but he said it in SpongeBob's voice.
I'm not even gonna try. I thought about it for a second, I was like, no.
That is a voice that I have attempted to do in the past, but no. The extent of my SpongeBob ability is to be like, money, 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 money. And even that, it's not. What kind of direction is Weast Boy? Are there any more on the wall?
Clancy Brown is in a league all his own, to be honest.
Clancy Brown is great. It was really nice of David Cage to, like, single-handedly produce the spiritual successor to SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Krabs used his vast wealth to finance the Clancy Brown body in that game. Like, the true thing is that he is in fact a secret android, and that he's undergone a procedure to no longer be a talking crab, because he always wanted to be a person.
Can you break that box and have there be an item inside it? Or is it strictly for platforming?
I think it's strictly for platforms. Yeah. There's no impact on that. I love
That's some Foley.
The game fucking hates it. The game detests that you would try. But I like it, so I'm gonna keep trying. Alright, well... Oh, okay, it's on a timer. I was gonna say, this seems wrong. Man, platformers were just all of the rage. For so long. Oh, hell yeah! That's just satisfying. Give you
That's what you want.
That's like, okay, give you a double jump, but it only works on this platform, right? but then just cover all of the available surfaces with that platform. Brilliant. That's like when you hit one of those blocks in Mario, but they just keep going with it, and they drop like 20 of them. Like they drop 20 rings or whatever. Coins.
Not Sonic.
Not Sonic.
There are people who would kill you for confusing the two.
Yeah, well, those
in any capacity.
Those people need to live and learn, alright? They need to open their heart and see that I am all that I am all I am.
To me, it just sounds like you stand on the edge of tomorrow.
I've got these 7 rings in hand. But it's my world. Some people are like, this is a terrible stream with terrible commentary. And then other people are like, don't worry about it. It's just his world. Oh, where the fuck am I going? I'm going up here.
Coming apart at the seams.
A little bit. Just walk slowly. Oh no! I walked slowly and clipped through the tree! But it's okay. It was actually faster because it got me back to where I was going. Oh, jeez. This is... Nah, I'm not a fan of this. I'm just gonna tank it, honestly. Like... Yeah, that's fine.
Good job tanking it.
Oh, I didn't know we were playing Final Fantasy XIV today. You forgot to turn on your stance.
We could be. The only limit is your imagination.
Now I just want to glamour my dude up so that he looks like #1.
You could. You totally could.
Oh yeah, you got those sunglasses. You could make that happen. Okay, wait, here's my question. When it loads me back, does it give me the music with the death? So, as you know, and as some of our viewers may know, I worked a good couple of years at Universal Orlando. In Universal Orlando, one of the nicest things about working there is that instead of working at like a supermarket or whatever, where you would just have, you know, whatever the top 40 is, you've got Universal movie scores in the background, right? So
much better, I would say.
You're just walking around doing your daily, regimen or whatever, and you've got basically just trumpets and drums and brass instruments everywhere, blaring at you, and it's great. I really miss working there. Oh, this place has turned to shit. Turned to snot, rather.
Yeah, I would say so.
But I'm getting, the music in this is giving me very much flashbacks of that vibe. And
Man, now I just kind of want to go back and watch this show.
It's great.
Because I never got into it. I remember liking it, but I never really got into it.
Here's one of the things that makes it really watchable now.
Yeah.
It has an ongoing narrative that's pretty decent. Like it's actually got continuity between episodes and like story arcs happen.
Oh, speaking of which, you know what else was really good?
What?
Teen Titans. I know I don't need to tell you that.
No, Teen Titans is great.
That show had a fighting game on Cartoon Network, I remember, on the website.
Battle Blitz. We played it on the channel, actually.
Oh, I am a little mad that I wasn't there for that, but that was my decision to make.
Look, there is a reason why Cartoon Block Party is listed as episode 1 on YouTube. Because we'll be going back to it. Depending on how this stream goes, I may or may not just put this as episode 2. Because it totally...
It can be a different game each time, if you want. It can be whatever you want it to be.
I mean, the main reason why we... Okay, so when we did the first stream, it was like, here's... I don't know.
It was all those Flash games.
It was like 12 of the 40-something Flash games that exist, right?
Right.
Oh, boy. Okay. This is where the dodge comes in handy. This is actually way more useful, is dodging when they're about to hit you. But I'm still taking a lot of hits. I don't have a whole lot of health to do this with.
This seems hard without the weapon.
It is. But to be fair, it was also, like, incredibly easy with the weapon, so...
Maybe some kind of middle ground needs to happen.
I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure this is a repurposed model of one of the way larger 2x4 technology, like, mechs that the kids next door had. I'm not sure why Common Cold has these little robots.
I want to say you're wrong. I want to say that, like, the tail gun in particular, I associate with the Common Cold.
You could be right.
Maybe I'm crazy.
Or maybe he had, like, a really big one of those.
Maybe. Yeah! Yeah, I think so. I think I remember that episode.
There might have been an episode where they had to fight Common Cold's, like, big, snot-nosed mecha or something.
Yeah. God, it's crazy to me how much of this show I remember.
It was on all the fucking time!
It was on all the fucking time.
There's only, like, 5 seasons of it, so, I mean, yeah.
Only 5? Teen Titans got, like, 2.
And it didn't even get an ending.
Yeah, it did. I think it did.
No? I mean, it got an...
Do you count the movie?
What I say when I say that it doesn't have an ending is, like, Trouble in Tokyo is an ending, but when the show ended, it ended on that cliffhanger with Terra and never resolved it. You remember that?
I don't remember it ending like that. That's something I would remember. Maybe I'm full of shit.
I believe the very final episode of that show was an episode called Things Change. And things
Maybe
changed.
that was the final episode of season 1.
I know it got more seasons. I think Things Change was the finale. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. I seem to remember Teen Titans ending on a cliffhanger. And then getting Trouble in Tokyo.
Trouble in Tokyo was good as a, like, the show keeps going after the credits roll kind of ending, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Number 5 thinks you got some unfinished business back in the bathroom. And while you're taking care of that business, Number 5's gonna reset the treehouse defense grid.
I'm sorry, did V.I.D.E.O.G.A.M.E make this game?
I'm sorry. The defense grid called in sick today.
Oh my god. This is MGS2.
The only thing contagious around
fucking love that bus.
Yeah.
Not so fast, Flyboy. My new snot bomber carries enough boogers to blast.
Yeah, that's absolutely Tom Kenny.
Of your pitiful cool bus, and it's powered by twin snot-cooled engines.
Oh yeah? Well, you're staring down the barrels of the new and improved Cool Bus, complete with
This
an
is so dumb. I
arsenal
love
of
this
2x4
so
weapons,
much.
capable of wiping your best boogers clean off that
How
snot.
come we don't have that thing in Fortnite?
Its afterburners are superheated by none other than my mom's tastiest chicken noodle soup. Ugh. Soup's on, Snotty. Come get a taste.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, I remember chicken soup as a resolution to the common cold, both in real life and in this show.
Yes.
That is very much something you hear a lot as a kid.
Oh, how good is this gonna look? How good or how bad is this gonna look?
It seems like it looks pretty good.
It's time to take your medicine.
I didn't know that we were
instructions.
playing Jade Empire already. Okay, the Cool Bus carries operatives overhead luxuriously, boasts unbeatable speed. You got move, you got fire, and other fire. Chicken Soup-a-losion.
The Gumma Guard.
But sooner or later, every nose that runs gets wiped.
Yeah, I didn't realize. This is totally just that fucking Jade
mission
Empire
update.
minigame. Main weapons array suffering extra supercritical failure. Ah,
Weapons are offline.
okay. I see what's going on here. How long does it last? Oh, it drains. Okay. There's like a last. If you're maneuvered into if you can't outmaneuver what's happening, hit your shield and don't hit it too often.
Next door operating instructions.
Enemy shots that hit the Gamma guard are converted into green Gamma meter. When the meter is full, press X to... Oh, big gun. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's your smart box.
Oh god, that's actually really satisfying.
Remember Star Fox?
I do remember Star Fox. How fucking nuts is it, by the way, that Star Fox 2 literally came out?
Did it?
Yeah, they released it as they released it on the Switch if you have Nintendo Online, and you can play it, and it's not very good, but it does exist.
It'll take more than that to stop the cool bus. You hear me, cool bus? You can take it, right?
This is pretty alright.
It seems like it plays well.
It looks better than I would have imagined, too.
You guys wanna boogie with me? Then let's
2x4! Give me that shit! This is awesome.
The Foley is really good.
This is what I'm talking about. They put effort into this.
Absolutely.
Oh, and yeah, you do have full range. Oh, those clouds look surprisingly good for the GameCube. They did a good job translating the like visual style of the show.
Bomber's gonna carpet bomb your nasal passages with 11 billion gallons of
11 billion.
phlegm, and then.
Wait, can I just mention that you are totally disgusting?
All right. This is awesome. I know I've said it before, but this is awesome. I'm a big fan of what's happening on the game right now. And again, you might say to yourself, "Oh, this is really simplistic. Why are you such a fan?" You also got to keep in mind that, like, one of my favorite games of all time is Galaga. And while this is not exactly Galaga, it's close enough that I like it.
It has a bit more in common with your Space Harrier, which is also very good.
Also, you can really fire. There was a Cartoon Network arcade minigame that was like it was one of those, but for kids next door. And I remember you being able to fly their ships and also upgrade your guns and have like a dual fire or things like that. And I'm having flashbacks to that and it being awesome. Gotta love a good screen wipe.
Smart bomb.
I mean, there's no reason not to just go full auto with this thing. Just like...
and there's no reason to not use the smart bomb every time you get it, and to go out of your way to get it.
Exactly. Again, dude, I'm actually really glad that I decided to play this instead of Mass Effect because I'm having such a better time.
This looks like fun. This section in particular, I almost wish I was playing this.
And the music is great. You could put this on a phone. You could actually, you know what? This would be really good on like a 3DS. I'm imagining like the rolling the log world thing that they put in the newer Animal Crossing game. Oh, look at that!
Look at that fucking screen wipe.
Honestly, after all that stuff that I went through with the platforming, just God. After all the platforming,
yeah, that's what it's for.
Boogers, this guy's not big enough for both of us, so someone's going down. That's you or me, and it's not gonna be me.
Oh,
I love the way. I also love the way that this level is made. It's just a big sphere.
Totally.
Or like a cylinder.
Again, it reminds me of like Wild World on the 3DS.
It's delightful simplicity. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it when you can just see the gears turning.
Totally.
a big fan of that.
I really like, not overly, oh my god, I just realized that these are TIE fighters. I was told that there would be many Star Wars references in this game, and yeah. Like the snot, the three-pronged snot fighters kind of look like those Bespin cloud cars. I'm kind of surprised that I've got so much of this residual knowledge of Star Wars from my childhood for somebody who doesn't really like Star Wars very much. But yeah, I have a real love for like more simplistic video games because I like to see them as they're being made, especially when it's like successful. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. There's my secret.
I just love being able to watch the gears turn.
Instead of up your nose, you'd be a better shot.
Got a secret. Keep it on the low. Make sure nobody knows. I'm gonna hazard a guess and say that is not a DMC8 song. Because
or it super is.
You know, Sahara Hot Nights did get us claimed early on when I was using like Powerpuff Girls music for one of the VRDs. And I was like, really? The Powerpuff Girls album? Powerpuff Girls also still holds up. The video game that they made for Powerpuff Girls is a fever nightmare, but it is a game. I do own it. Just saying.
Okay, Flyboy, let's see what you do.
Gesundheit.
Gesundheit.
Oh shit.
See what you're made of.
I see what you're made of. Ugh, mucus.
I love how number 2, like, he adores making puns, and most of the time they're awful. But in universe. Nobody has it. Like, nobody has time for it.
I mean, the worse the pun is, usually the better it is.
I agree. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This is more fun than the similar sequences that exist in Jade Empire. Oh.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. The only good part of Halo Reach was the Space Fighter sequence.
Oh my good god, look at these things! This is just fun. This is just good-fashioned fun.
It's just video games at its finest.
I would have loved this as a kid.
I bet. I probably would have loved at least this level. Assuming I made it past the platforming in level 2.
Yeah, if I had made it past some of the platforming sections, I probably would have just, like, played this game as it is. Like, I would have loaded up this level and skipped it in the main menu. It's awesome. 'Cause it's just so satisfying is the thing. And it doesn't need to be very much.
It's very simple, it's everything it needs to be.
Why would you make it this big?
I don't care that there's like an entire country between us. Give me the controller.
I mean, you want the controller, you come here and take it from me.
God damn it!
Bring it on. Okay.
It's just you, me, and this entire country that they built between us.
This terrible country that they built between us. I can't hear you, man. You're gonna have to speak up. I can't hear you over the beep, 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 beep. Oh, why is that one so... You hear how much louder that one was? That one, like, seared the microphone.
Got all crunchy for a second there.
So it's funny because, like, the one thing that Dolphin can't consistently do very well is audio. Like, if there's gonna be one bug that happens when you're playing, it's almost always gonna be crunchiness in the audio. That and cutscenes, occasionally Dolphin has, like, a really hard time with cutscenes and, like, preloaded video, which is why, like, that's the big reason why we didn't play RE4 on Halloween, was because, yeah, if we're gonna do that, we need to get, like, the modern version of it.
I own the modern version of it.
That's true. And it's also like $4 on the PS5 or something. It's probably gonna be like the first game that I buy on it. Okay, so count these for me, because we got one already.
Alright.
One chicken soup blast. 2 chickens. Count them in a row.
Oh, that's another stock sound effect that I recognized.
Oh yeah? Which one?
The chicken explosion. The specific sound effect for it is in fucking Unreal Tournament.
Oh man. Well, this would have been about that time.
Yeah.
You'll need superpowers to stop me.
Yep, that's the sound effect. You hear that one when vehicles explode.
Huh. That checks out. I could, yeah.
Kinda wish I was playing that game, one of the best games ever made.
Unreal Tournament 2004 is really good.
Your weapons are no match for me, Common Cold. I eat snot like that.
I lost count.
I think this is 4.
I mean, I don't eat snot.
That's my, not internalizing, right? I think that's 5. Or not internalizing. What I'm saying is that's the same thing that I did, the same reasoning that I take when we were playing World of Horror. I was like, wait, which person are we fighting now? It's like, oh, I think this was the 4th one that we fought.
Just trying to remember something that you weren't trying to remember.
Well, it's just like the feeling of how many units of a thing ago was this. 6? I believe that's 6. You know that famous video game rule of 7s?
The V kind of looks like a 7 if you turn it on its side. Kinda.
Yeah. Was Metal Gear Solid 5 actually Metal Gear Solid 7? No. It was more like Metal Gear Solid 14. There's a lot of games in that franchise.
Metal Gear Solid 14, A Realm Reborn.
Oh man, it needs it now. 101 Rainbow Monkeys, we got all of the secrets unlocked. It only took me half an hour.
Oh my goodness.
So, you like to play Castlevania?
Not those kids. I hate
Good work, number 2. Now transport our snotty friend to a holding cell before we take him to Moonbase.
Roger that. Looks like my modifications to the cool bus were just the right medicine.
Oh man, that battle-ready armor looks really good already.
The power cord.
Yeah.
No!
Did Kree just murder the Common Cold?
Hello?
That depends.
If we're all finished with that booger finger, I'm about to explode here unless someone unclogs all the snot-filled toilets in this treehouse.
Oh god.
Well, you could always use
The toilet we never use.
He can't go down there. That toilet is haunted.
Oh, you guys are just trying to
I
scare
love
me.
it.
Haunted or not, I gotta go. I'll be right back.
Oh, they do the episode transition and everything.
Hi!
Yeah.
Lights back on. Quit messing with me, guys. I can't see what I'm doing in here. Oops. Oh, man.
Oh, of course. It's gonna be Count Spankulot.
Oh man, I forgot about him.
Count Spankulot did not age very well.
Nice to be scary.
The funky rhythm.
Well, guess what? The
What?
thing that Count Spankulot does wasn't a cool thing to do at the time either.
No. Although it at least happened more often. It was a bad thing to do forever.
Come in, number 4. Can't a guy get some
I usually
privacy
skip his
around here?
episodes when I rewatch the show, though. I will say that.
Where are you?
Coward.
Where do you think
Coward.
I am? We need your help with something in the hangar. I said I'd be back, didn't I? All right, I'm on my way. Oh man, all over my shoes.
Well, number 4 was always oh fuck yeah. The what was that thing called?
Fucking no idea.
I love that thing. It's like the spring-loaded paddle thing. Oh my god. They look great.
They do look great.
All right, I'm here already. Now, what's the emergency, number 1? Number 1?
Welcome to your initiation, number 4.
They're having so much fun.
Initiation? What cruddy? Wait a minute! You've all been turned into spank-happy vampires again, haven't you?
Hey, that's the name of my fan
Spankulot
fiction.
must have had a hand in this.
Oh man, I know it is.
Count does with his hands is none of your business, number 4. Instead, you're about to find out what number 2's hands have been up to.
What?
Watch, bots! Attack!
Kids Next Door operating instructions.
Punch, kick, jump, activate, or carry. Okay, so this is number 5's moveset.
Pretty much. Minus the jumping.
Number 2's new watch bots are tough, but nothing.
Oh
I
no, we got a
can't
double
handle.
jump too.
But my teammates are another story.
Got a soda.
What's your special move?
I'm going to guess Australia. Oh no, it's hers. It's the big punch.
I know something that'll
Well,
help you lay the
hers was a
smackdown on
big
them
kick. Yours is a
bots.
Shoryuken.
It's like an
Just get to my
uppercut.
room in one piece.
That's a Shoryuken, my man.
Oh, I know. We come from two opposite angles of this because you're like, oh, that's a Shin Shoryuken, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's an uppercut. I saw Bruce Lee do that in that movie last
To
night.
get upstairs. If only I could lower the plow on the front.
That's my name is Mr. Plow.
Crud! Number 2 must have
The
disappeared.
Kaplow.
Maybe if I give it a good whack, or a whop, maybe a ka-wham.
D. Bradley Baker's the best.
He's having a lot of fun.
Oh, I better grab that candy. Oh well, I tried to grab the candy anyway.
I wish I had a cool bus.
This is 100% the music from the show. I'm surprised that I remember.
I kind of just feel like I'm watching the show here.
Which is pretty much the best thing that you could say about this game, right?
It's the best thing that you could hope for.
If that was the intention, then yeah. That's all I would have wanted. Again, buying this at like, I see this on like a shelf at a Blockbuster. Absolutely. That's what I would want. Frustrates you just a little bit. But I mean,
The game design is obviously not perfect, but it doesn't feel like a crappy licensed game as much as you're just playing an episode of the show.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the Billy and Mandy like Power Stone ripoff feels way worse than this.
But is the writing there?
Yeah, it's there. Totally.
Because that's kind of the crux of it, even if the game sucks.
I mean, you know, spoiler alert, we'll play that as well. Mostly because those cutscenes are there.
Like, that's the whole point.
That's all you need. Yo! I am so bad at platforming. I apologize profusely. Oh, camera, please! I am not moving the camera, by the way. If you ever see the camera start to, like, do this, that's just because that's what it's doing.
No, sir. Not getting out of this chair.
I just saw that episode yesterday. It was so good.
It's one of the best.
The thing that sells it, and the thing that people forget, is as Eustace goes sailing into the stratosphere, like, it doesn't get quieter or or further away. The voice cue just carries while he gets further away, and it's brilliant. Just plays at full volume.
No, sir. Not getting out of this chair.
It's like the ADR itself refuses to get out of the chair. Codename Kids Next Door Dynasty Warriors. You want to codename Kids Next Door Muso?
I mean, this seems like it works.
I would play it.
Just watching this happen, it seems like it works.
You could do a Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy Dynasty Warriors game.
Yeah, it would be the episode with the moon aliens.
Oh, that's true. I was gonna say it would be the episode where they go to Asgard.
Or the episode with the brownies.
Straight up.
Which was called Brown Evil.
Is there a way for me to get up there from here, I wonder?
You can't get there from here.
Oh, that seems like progress. Hold on. Oh, I can get it from here.
But yeah, you've totally got options.
You could do an entire, like, Hyrule Warriors style, nothing but Billy and Mandy Muso game. Nobody would buy it because...
I would.
I mean, I would too, but, like, no, it wouldn't make money, but you could make it. And you should. You know
but what if you make it and it's really good?
See, that's the thing. You could make it now. Because now the people that would buy it are people who have disposable income. And have, like,
I mean, arguably, that depends on where you come from.
Well, I mean, you have people who are in the workforce now and have money, as opposed to if they released it when we were kids, nobody would have bought it because, like, kids can't buy things. Kids can't buy video games. We found a way. Did I just Mario jump on that dude? Oh, okay, it bounces them a little bit. It doesn't do damage. This is savage. This is some R-rated action right here. Nice. I also appreciate that they couldn't give him bloody claws, so instead it looks like his arms or his hands are like a paint can that's been scratched out on the bottom.
I mean, aren't they like brooms?
Maybe?
You're talking about the robots, right?
Yeah. Oh, you know what I love about this, though?
What?
The way that this, like, the geometry in this room is set up, it makes it look like it's a, like a dark ride at Disney.
Also the Todd Rays.
The Todd Rays are here as well. These ones are moon Todd Rays, so they're way cooler. Give me that rainbow. Give me that rainbow monkey.
I just had a letter from Kroger dropped in my lap, and if this isn't like a check for $1,000, I am going to be appalled at the nerve of these fucking people. I worked for them briefly. One of the worst experiences of my life, behind being in the hospital for 2 weeks with sepsis.
Oh no. Yeah.
Notice of data breach. Nice.
Great. Well, that's not a check for $1,000. Well, you know what that means. You know who you blame for that? That's something that you blame on the evils of adult tyranny.
That's right.
So, as I was saying before I got interrupted with my own thought process like 2 hours ago, part of the reason that we're playing this today is because they've been trying to do a revival for a while, right?
You did mention this.
And they had a trailer for a long time called Stop the G.K.N.D. and a plot line that involves aliens. And they just put out a second trailer like yesterday. And I'm sitting there at however early in the morning and I'm like, wait, there's a second trailer for this fucking thing? Why?
Oh man, the game's chugging a bit.
A little bit.
Too many enemies on screen.
Too many bots on the dance floor. Too many bots. Alright. The game can handle this many bots on the dance floor. Oh. Can it? I think it might have been because I was like... Look, yeah, that is absolutely a Shoryuken. I think it might have been because I peeked through the level geometry and saw a little bit more level than I was supposed to.
And those are absolutely, like, brooms or paintbrushes. Probably brooms.
Yeah, you're right. Those are brooms. Or brush. They were some sort of brush apparatus.
Some sort of, what would you call it? Bristle-based implement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, this was number 4's room, because he just had... Look at this! This is like my room, except bigger.
And cooler.
And
better.
Way cooler. Way better. Way better!
What the? Looking for your splanker, old buddy?
The splanker.
I seem to have disassembled it. But don't worry, you should be able to find all the parts if you can get past my improved watch bots.
I like to think that that was a bad read that they just kept.
I like to think that too.
Kids Next Door operating instructions.
We did 100 takes, and that was the best one.
I drank all of the water.
Why do you think I'm so fat? Oh, Kamiguru is awesome. Kamiguru in the abridged series is awesome. Kamiguru in the regular series is like okay, I guess. How fucking strong is number 4 that he just kicks these dumbbells? These dumbbells are like the size of him. I love it.
Plot twist, they're not real, they're made of foam latex.
They're like little inflatable ones?
Yeah.
Oh, that's super on brand though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. It's fun to punch and kick things. I won't lie. The little, like, combat jumps are pretty fun. Any secrets from BAM and this on?
There should be.
Oh, yep. Super secret. I am a goddamn genius. Never let anybody tell you that I'm not a genius. Including me. Oh, there are so many in this room. Come on. Step right up. Step on up to get knocked down.
Jump up to get down.
I need to jump down.
You need to jump up to get down.
I need to get down. Jump up to get down, and then they release a sequel song that's just simply called I Need to Get Down. I'm up too high. Help, I need to get down. Jump up to get down, succeeded by help, I need to get down. I've gotten up and I can't get back down. Double jump. There we go. Full up on health. Okay.
You're doing it.
I need to see where well we need the planker. Ah shit, there goes that rainbow monkey. Also very round and super chunky. They're spreading love wherever they go. Everyone's made of a big rainbow. All red and orange and pink and blue. Come on, you know the words. Everybody knows the words.
I don't, and even if I did, no. There's the last part, though. I can see it.
Yeah. Let's see, where do we have to jump from to get
You
there?
sound so deflated.
No, I'm trying to think of how to get there, but also sure, yeah.
Your disappointment is immeasurable, and your day is ruined.
This looks fine. I just don't want to jump and miss it. There we go. Good stuff.
Don't overthink it.
That's a fucking jump scare.
Artillery nicely kicks enemy rear.
Oh, they're just gone. What is this? Mass Effect 3?
Yeah, we still have that Shepherd VI.
Oh my god. They're all having so much fun. Oh, not quite. It looks like you should be able to jump over that, but...
I think it's actually a jump, not a roll.
Yeah, I think you're right. Come on. This is good, though. I like this. I'm a fan of this fight. Even if I'm not doing it so good. Oh, it's done. That's very, Knuckles in Sonic Adventure.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh, my god. Is it all just one big fight?
Nachos. Sounds like the old number 2 to me. That's 1 down.
And 3 and 5 to go, sucker. Volley! Time for some bankies!
2 against 1, eh? No problem. Sure you don't want a little help to even things out?
Okay, if that's the way you wanna play it.
She looks awesome, vampified. Like with the bite taken out of the hat.
They both look great, honestly.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, this is way better at knocking these things down. Does it in one. And you can lead it a little bit. Oh man, that's super satisfying too. Because they use these things all the time. This was like their go-to gun. This and the like chili pepper ray gun.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I think this one was their go-to because it was the one that the censors were the least angry about.
Cowards.
A little bit. Oh my god, the game can't handle it! Guys,
it's free bullet time. Don't worry about it.
Stop doing this. The game can't. Your game can't take it, child.
And this is probably just an emulation thing.
Yeah.
But still. Ooh, 2 for 1.
Secret unlocked. Beat the shit out of your friends. This is just a Dark Souls fight, honestly. This might as well be.
Smoke.
Yeah, just pumping that music. Oh. This is actually really not all that different from a lot of boss fights in Dark Souls, now that I think about it. With, like, the rolling and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Fucking number 5 is alive? Are you kidding me? I did not expect to wake up today and hear a Short Circuit reference. Get back here, you coward. Come on. What is that? That is so cool! You know, while I'm thinking about fighting vampires with cool powers,
yeah.
I have some bad news about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
That being?
Apparently, Hard Suit Labs in its entirety is no longer working on it. And it's like, literally the entire crew got scrapped and replaced, which bodes super well.
Oh yeah, no, that shit's dead in the water, 100%.
I wanted that game to be so good.
Sorry to rough you guys up, but it's for your own good. Impressive, number 4. I didn't expect you to defeat the others so easily.
Me either. Actually, I expected that to be way harder.
Yeah.
I'll show you how it's done.
I'm afraid you'll not have such an easy time with me, number 4. If you want to fight me, come and get me.
Oh man, that Foley is like, that's macaroni and mayonnaise in a bowl.
I am just thinking like plastic bag crumpling. Like a chip bag.
There's that. I mean, there's like there's a wetness to it.
I suppose.
I think this is as high as we go. Okay. That's fine. I would have played this game all the time. Because, again, one of my favorite things is just to, like, exist in a 3D world. And that's part of the reason why I find so many of these licensed games to be so fascinating. Is, like, honestly, the first time I loaded up Ed, Edd n Eddy Misadventures and I just walked around a cul-de-sac in full 3D, I was like, holy shit. There is a charm to this.
It hits all the right notes.
Absolutely, because...
Hey, is the alt-fire different now that you have the splanker?
I appear to not have one.
So then this is basically your super gravity gun.
And that's fair, because this thing kicks ass.
Overwhelming power, not a whole lot much else.
No. I'm always gonna go for the candy.
This is your super gravity gun, kill star. Can you think of any other ridiculous super weapon moments in games?
The sword in Halo is one of those, except it doesn't have very long of a usage.
It's not really the same thing. I am talking like penultimate act power trip. Like, this is the weapon you bring to the final boss, and it's the only thing that makes it doable.
I mean, yeah,
it's a very specific sort of phenomenon that is, like, endemic to shooters of the era.
There is a... I mean, I guess you could say that the Spartan laser is supposed to be that in 3, but also...
Depends on... Yeah, I guess.
The Spartan laser is also very small use case, because it doesn't last very long either.
matter, number 4? Seeing double trouble?
I'm talking like the game lets you have it for as long as you need to have it.
Yeah.
It's me.
No, yeah, absolutely. There are more examples of that. I'm just blanking right now.
Oh yeah, me too.
There is a sword in Fable that's kind of like that, I suppose. The Sword of Aeons in especially before the remastered edition is just like there is no reason to use literally any other weapon in the game.
Yeah. I would say the Armageddon blade in Darksiders, but functionally it doesn't really change anything.
And also, I can't...
It's just... I mean, it's the Armageddon blade. What else do you need to know?
No, I've never played far enough in the game to know what you're talking about, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah! Ready to rumble!
This is a good way to reuse assets too, because it makes sense that you would be in the command center of the treehouse so much in this game. Because they were always fucking here.
Man, number 5 just had the weirdest dream.
There is one room that I still want to see.
If it weren't for number 4, we'd all still be spank-happy vampires.
I want to see whatever their TV room was. Because they always had a gigantic TV.
Also, the insistence upon the terminology.
That's right, gigantic.
No, the other terminology of spank-happy vampires.
Oh yeah, well.
The insistence upon the nomenclature.
It's good. It's good stuff. They're fucking hamsters, of course.
From the power core, Count Spankulot was able to plunge the treehouse into total darkness.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
I forgot about the hamsters.
We'll never be able to catch all these cruddy hamsters.
Gotcha, little hamster! You can't run from me, silly!
Well, that's one.
It's easy! We just want to play!
Okay, team. We need to catch those hamsters and get that power core back online. Who's up for it?
Me! I want to play with the hamsters!
Alrighty then. Number 3, you gather up the hamsters, and we'll stay here and supervise.
Alright, yeah, totally, let's do it.
I didn't know we were playing Cell Damage.
Well...
This is just level 1 of the Swamp World.
Your mission is to collect enough hamsters
Number
to
3
power
can
up the
fly.
doors so you can get to the power core. Then, if you can get enough hamsters to the power core treadmills, we should be able to power up the treehouse.
Okay, number 2.
This is like...
Is it also my mission to hug and kiss each
The music here reminds me so much of, like, Fievel Goes West and, like, An American Tail.
Okay, little hamster friends, I need you to power up the door for me now. What's that? I know you want to play instead, but... Well, okay.
She was always great, too, like...
Power up the door!
Just pure joy. Fire weapon, A to jump, double jump, and glide. She's Knuckles! Oh, and her idle animation. Yeah, this is great.
Checks out.
That's pretty good. That's 100% her. Yeah, this is the only thing she's missing to be Knuckles is the ability to climb on walls. It's the only thing. Oh, her double jump is pretty damn good, though.
Catch and run! Catch the hamsters! So much fun! They're so furry and they scurry and they hide and go peek. That's why it's fun to play hamster go seek.
Oh man, that went on for longer than I would have thought. Oh, camera. Camera, please. I think that's my one big actual complaint about this game. Is
the camera.
The camera.
Because it's always the camera. It's always the camera.
The camera is trying to... The camera is always showing you where you're supposed to go, but but it will also hide collectibles in places that you're not supposed to go. So if you for any reason ever want to go somewhere other than immediate progress...
Man, I am still just drawing a blank here on this. I am actually kind of astonished.
Oh, and falling through the floor on occasion. That's also not so good.
Titanfall 2 does the other thing of, like, having a unique gimmick for each level. Like the time travel thing and the arc gun that powers up different bullshit.
Well, doesn't
that game is great.
Titanfall 2, I remember, gives you a certain gun at, like, the penultimate moment because it was so overpowered in the first game.
Yeah, that's true. You get the Predator cannon. Not quite the epilogue. You do get the smart pistol.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's also overpowered in the multiplayer, or so I'm told.
Yes. Or again, I didn't play that game very often, but I knew of enough people who did that I heard about it enough that it's like, yeah, people were...
Oh, man. We're gonna play that game. It's gonna happen. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good co-op game. I would be down to play it when it goes cheap enough that I can buy it.
I mean, it's not co-op. It's got a co-op mode that's a lot of fun, but the main story is not.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, also, totally.
Shit, if you want to do Frontier Defense, I am down for that anytime. I fucking love that shit.
Is Frontier Defense the game where you play as a racist prospector shooting people on your property?
I thought that was just Grand Theft Auto 5.
That's Grand Theft Auto 5. That's also most of the Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
That's also Red Dead Redemption. No, that's not fair. That's Red Dead Online. Red Dead Redemption, both of those protagonists I actually like a lot.
We don't talk about Red Dead Online.
We should talk more about Red Dead 1. That game is great.
That game is unplayable because it's trapped on a dead console.
I mean, I technically do have a copy here and a console
I do
that can
too.
play it.
But you think I'm gonna boot up a PS3 and sit in front of my fucking TV? No.
I might. If that's a game that we would be interested in looking at, because that game is pretty good.
Dude, it took a Breath of the Wild tier game for me to sit on a couch in front of a TV and hold a controller in my hands for that many hours.
I'm telling you. I mean, I'm doing it now. I am not playing this on a mouse and keyboard. I can promise you that shit.
Oh, believe me, I play lots of games with a controller, but sitting in front of a TV is different.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. For the purposes of, like, Metal Gear Solid, for instance, you're pumping that video.
Well, that's fucking Metal Gear Solid.
Red Dead Redemption 1, not as good as Metal Gear Solid, of course, but genuinely really, really good. Probably the best 3D
Probably the
Rockstar
last good
game.
Rockstar game.
Yeah, it did come out after 4, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, how am I gonna get up there? How am I gonna get back up there?
Oh man, you know what game kicks ass?
What?
Just apropos of nothing? The Darkness 2. That game fucking rules.
That is such... Also, that is such an... that is a very contentious opinion. Because most people like The Darkness 1 for reasons that you dislike The Darkness 2 for reasons that you like it.
Really?
Because 1 is like a more... It is like a relatively more somber thing and has like a more measured story. And then 2 is like a very of the era, you know, shooter.
I would
Like
play
power
The
shooter.
Darkness 1 if it was on PC, but it's not, so I can't.
Is it not on GOG?
Hey, hey, running theme here. It's trapped on a dead console.
Is it not on GOG? I thought it was.
I'll check.
I can't see why. I mean, that game is It's not pushing any boundaries.
I don't remember it being on PC. Like, flat out, but I'll check.
I could be wrong. I don't know if it is or not. Oh, okay, I just go back to the top. Alright, that's good.
I would check if the search function would actually work. I need to figure out which of their bullshit I have to enable to make the website work. Hey, website, you want to work? Yeah, here we go.
I mean, the website was created by CD Projekt Red, so it might just not work despite promising that it will.
Let's see, I've got The Church in the Darkness, Tomb Raider, The Angel of Darkness, and Of Light and Darkness, The Prophecy. No Darkness.
Huh. Interesting.
But The Darkness 2 is on PC.
Yeah, I do know that The Darkness 2 is on PC.
I own it. It's very good.
Yeah, The Darkness 1 is,
was also made by a different studio.
Yes. So again, like, I was not there to be, like, a fan of either of those games at the time, but I've definitely heard the discourse and understand why people have, like, the rivalry between those two games, because it's very much like the sequel came out and it was, you know, it was the Michael Bayification of the thing that we liked.
Oh, you remember Biomutant?
No? Wait, is Biomutant that, like, anthropomorphic platforming action thing that came out, like, last year?
It did not come out.
Oh, it didn't
It's
come
where
out.
you play as, like, the weird raccoon thing and you get the mutations.
Right.
And it's like, it was supposed to be made by ex-Avalanche staff.
Okay. Yes,
It finally got a release date.
Oh?
May the 25th. I'm gonna keep an eye on that because I remember being interested in that.
I remember being interested in the concept, and then I looked at the dude, and he looked like Rocket Raccoon, and I was very upset. I was very much in the place of like Rocket Raccoon, man. Everybody loves My Name is Groot and the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sure people still love those. I liked that first movie, okay. I thought that second one was better. I don't know.
Okay, so you come at me with like, I don't know about these men, and then you say, but the first movie was good and the second one was better, and I don't know what to take from that.
The thing that you should
getting mixed signals here.
Yeah, that's fair. The thing that you should take away from it is that I'm not the biggest fan of Marvel movies or DC movies. I'm not. That's not the.
I mean, DC movies are always terrible.
Yeah, that's not the argument that I'm trying to make here. The argument that I'm trying to make is, I like Spider-Man, but aside from Spider-Man, man, those movies are safe and boring and bland, and I don't care.
Spider-Man, you might say.
I don't like any of those movies except for the Spider-Man movies. And even the Spider-Man movies I don't like as much as I like those Tobey Maguire ones. Or the Andrew Garfield ones. Wait. No, I take that back. I like the Andrew Garfield ones. The Tom Holland ones are better than those. But not as good as the Tobey Maguire ones. The Tobey Maguire ones are still, like, the best Marvel movies that exist.
Spider-Man 2, I liked a whole lot.
It's a good movie.
A whole lot.
It's a good movie.
While you keep doing your Knuckles thing, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
You go ahead and go to the bathroom. There's one of these fucking things left that I wanted. It's a rainbow monkey that's up in the corner that I want to get. Just having trouble getting to it. Because it's just at such an awkward angle. I keep like eating these drops, which is probably not good. There's only so much health that number 3 has. I should probably elaborate also on those points of the Spider-Man movies. Well, I'm thinking about it. I think Tom Holland is really, really talented, and I really like Zendaya. I really enjoy what they were doing with her character. I was more of a Gwen Stacy fan than a Mary Jane Watson fan. Not to say that I didn't like Mary Jane, but I definitely always liked Gwen a little bit more. But I liked those Andrew Garfield movies. I liked the first one at least. I didn't watch the second one all the way through because, like, in the middle of my watching them, I had gotten the news that, that it was essentially canceled and that they weren't going to be doing them anymore. And I was like, oh, well, that's just straight up a shame. But they also, they bloated that movie up with way too much plot that didn't go anywhere, and I liked some of the stuff that they were doing with the first one, but it definitely got too, like, overzealous. It got too big for its britches. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, though, Into the Spider-Verse is excellent. That movie is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely one of my favorite animated movies, at the very least. It is... I would say Into the Spider-Verse is better than Spider-Man 3. I don't like it quite as much as I like Spider-Man 1 and 2. How many more rainbow monkeys do we have to get? Sorry, not rainbow monkeys. We need 5 of those little guys. 5 of those little hamsters. I guess we're going down to Mephisto's Cafe here. Wait a second. Are they in the treetops? Is that where they are? Are they hiding in the treetops? Oh, am I a fool? Maybe not. Oh, this really needs like a first-person view. But yeah, Into the Spider-Verse is excellent. Anybody who hasn't seen that yet, if you have like a large enough HD display that does, color depth well, check that out. That was one of the best theater experiences that I've had. Just going to see a movie on the big, big, big screen. To be honest, so are the Raimi movies. Seeing those on, like a proper big silver screen release, that was excellent time. Those are really bringing back some memories too. Because it was like, what, at the time it was that. The Simpsons movie was around that time. And it couldn't have been too far off from the the Star Wars prequels. Which I saw all 3 of those in the theaters as well. And man, what a time. Like, it was a zeitgeist for sure, but what a time. Revenge of the Sith was genuinely really, really cool to see in a big theater. Because while that movie is not, like, the best, it's definitely the most watchable out of the 3 of those. And had the most people excited to see a movie that I've ever seen in my life. Like, that was, everybody waving around lightsabers at the premiere. Oh god, that's right! I saw that movie at its premiere! Oh, what a wonderful time. This mission is kind of adorable. It's reminding me a little bit of trying to chase the herds down in the very opening of Twilight Princess. You know what I'm talking about? I wonder if I can corral these guys into a corner. Maybe that would work better. Yeah, they don't track you while you're in the air, so I suppose that's what they really want you to try to do. You try to just, like, get them on the ground and catch them that way. Doesn't quite work as well as it could. So there are 12 of them, so do you get a super secret if you catch all 12? Are you incentivized to catch them all?
Chase the hamsters, watch them run.
Or they're just like...
And they scurry, and they hide and go peek. That's why it's fun to play hamster go seek.
I think there might just be 2 extra ones in case like they get stuck in the level geometry or something. Which is probably what I would do if I were making this section as well. I would say it's a good idea for them to have put that in there. Come on, Rainbow Monkey, Rainbow Monkey. Also very round and super chunky. Bringing love wherever they go. Everyone is made of a big rainbow. All red and orange and pink and blue and rainbow monkeys. We love you. I'm so sorry. I can't apologize enough. One of the reasons that we decided to play this game, and by we I mean I, decided to play this game instead of Mass Effect 3 today, by the way, was because I logged into my N7 HQ and was like, oh god, we have another 5 hours to wait for this thing on like Thessia. And I just... Nah, man. I'm good. I appreciate it, but I'm good. That game is all well and good and fun, but sometimes, like, in order to get a good ending, the bullshit that you have to go through... We're already not gonna get the best ending possible, right? Because, I mean, you know... We've been playing kind of a flawed shepherd who doesn't make all of the perfect decisions. Not everybody survived the suicide mission. But at the same time, it's like... Mass Effect 2, you know, you had like a couple of different things to keep in mind. You had loyalty, you had your morality, and some decision making to keep track of. Also, yeah, I think they just keep a couple handful of extra rainbow monkeys. They keep a handful of extra hamsters around just in case something happens to one of them. But in 3, you have like, with the DLC, the amount of missions and their order that you have to consider in order to keep everybody alive and happy, or, you know, as happy as you can be in the middle of a war, I guess. It is daunting. It's a trial.
Hey, come back here, little hamsters! This is so much fun! Isn't it fun, little hamsters? Run, little hamsters! We should play this every day!
If I just stay on here, eventually they're all gonna come over here, right? Maybe not. Maybe catching them in the middle is the way to go. God, how long has this mission been so far? Granted, this is not me taking like half an hour to do the section with Common Cold. But it's fairly close, right? It's gotta be. I mean, we started this section at what? 5:07, maybe? Here we are at 5:34. I certainly hope, for the benefit of anyone and everyone who might be watching, that it doesn't take quite that long, but I could be wrong. Also, excuse me while these headphones, like, clamp down on my cranium, cause intense pain. Is this the way to go, or is this backwards? Okay, no, this is the way to go. Oh, I love this map. Can somebody, anybody, possibly get to work on porting this into, like...
Okay. Freeze ray always paralyzes potential enemies.
VR chat, maybe?
Ooh, this is cool! No, really, little hamsters, it's pretty cold! Here, let me show you. Don't worry, it won't hurt!
Alright, ice gun. What is our secondary? We don't appear to have a secondary at the moment. Oh no, we just freeze the hamsters! That's horrifying! I mean, it's good for us, but it's also horrifying.
That seems dire.
A little bit.
That word of the day coming back again.
I was telling everybody about the reasons why I'm playing this today. Okay, so it's just a charge shot. The reasons that we're playing this and not Mass Effect. And
I thought we covered that.
We covered it before we went live. Which is just like this endless font of negativity. But the other reason was that I checked before we went live on the N7 website. And we still have like 5 hours on one of our... we have like 5 hours plus to wait for our next batch of crew to come in. And I'm like, ah, man. I've been relatively keeping up with that. You know, off screen to try and be like, alright, the next time we go live, we're going to be ready and talk about some of the differences. And every time that I log into that site, I'm like, I can't fucking believe, A, that this site is still active. B,
and yeah, what happens when it's not anymore? What happens when it's not anymore?
I assume one of two things. And we'll probably say this again when we go live with that game in particular, so we can get it on camera there. But I assume either A, they do the good thing, which is they just give you maxed out galactic readiness, right? And they just unlock the values so that you automatically have 100% all the time. Or they do the bad thing, which is they shut down the servers for it and say, well, anybody who has these copies can't do it anymore. And if you want to interact with this system, or the upgraded system that we made, we have a game for you, and it's called the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I hope that they don't do the second option. But
I expect that they'll just do nothing. That's my prediction.
Here it is! Big TV room!
Big TV room.
That's what I wanted, the Gihugic TV.
Gihugic TV.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they would actually do anything, but I hope that they do. Okay, that's plywood off, so I can't get in there until we do whatever is up top first. Oh, there's music too. It's excellent. I'm so happy to be playing this game. I'm so much happier to be playing this than to be, like, looking at Kai Lang. Keep forgetting that Kai Lang is in that game. And then I start a new game and I'm like, oh god damn it. Right. This guy.
I think that the script and concept writers forgot every moment that Kai Lang is in the game, except for when he's in the game.
Just a few more hamsters and you'll have enough power to use the elevator.
You know what I mean?
Oh boy, I know what you mean. And the crazy thing is, the crazy thing about Kai Lang is it gets worse. And it gets,
I bet.
It gets worse in a couple of ways.
I bet it gets worse.
Mass Effect 3 gets better and worse in substantial ways. And that's all I'll say about it for now.
The highs get higher and the lows get lower. And the highs get less frequent.
No, actually, no. I'll say when you get closer to the end of the game, you start interacting with the DLC more. And all of the best content in the game is DLC. Which is another problem that I have with that game. Okay. How are we gonna get... Okay, we gotta jump down from that, I think. That'll do. Look at that! Look at that expression of pure joy. I wish I could have so much joy.
Joy is a distant memory. That's not even true for me. I wasn't even happy as a child.
You sound like Morrissey right now. Which, hey, Morrissey is rich, so, you know. That's probably
yeah, well, I'm not.
Panic on the streets of London. Panic on the streets of Birmingham. Where's that other rainbow monkey? Oh, that rainbow monkey's over there. I can just barely see it through the canopy. Camera. Oh god, that camera almost screwed us out of it. We got a secret, so keep it on the low. Make sure nobody know. Oh man, the canopy, it makes it difficult to see almost anything. But you know what the strength of this game is? The fact that
sure as shit ain't the gameplay, except in that second level. Except for the part where you were really bad at it.
Yeah.
The third level.
The
second level kind of sucked.
I can't fault the game for me being bad at a sequence for sure. Oh,
the first level was good, the second level was bad, the third level was good, the fourth level was also good. And now this level is just kind of okay.
This level's going on a little bit long.
That's my personal ranking.
I like this level, but it's definitely gone on a little long.
Collectathons, not really my thing.
I like I don't love collectathons, but I like them. We have 10 more hamsters to find. I think we're done with...
I think there's a door you're supposed to go in on the bottom floor.
Yeah, I think so too. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything at the top of this. I think this might have been literally just to get rainbow monkeys. Yeah, okay.
Which you sure as shit are not opposed to doing.
You want to get those... You want to get that content, man.
How about you?
I mean, the other option... Because the question that I have is this one of those games where you can just input a cheat code and they give you all of the extra content? Or is this a game in which you have to do all of it? Because I want to show it off. Whatever it is, I want to show it all off, right?
I respect making you have to do it.
But like, Ed, Edd n Eddy Misadventures is the reason why I have that question, because that game, you can just put in cheat codes and it gives you all of the extra content, which is fine, because that content is good. And that game is not... I mean, it's fine. It's not... It is not as good as this.
But it's not as bad as Mass Effect 3.
No, it's not as bad as Mass Effect 3. At least, like... At least Misadventures is over within a couple hours. As opposed to Mass Effect 3.
Mass Effect 3, in which the ramifications are felt for years.
In which you continue... Being a fan of the Mass Effect trilogy means that you have to live with the ramifications of Mass Effect 3 forever.
Choices that have consequences, like the decision to make Mass Effect 3.
All day watching number 3 play some stupid hamster game. I just want the power back on so I can play some real games. Some video games.
This is
like Mass Effect 3.
These are real hamsters, and you really hurt their feelings.
Oh, can you at least hurry a little?
Seems number 4 shares your sentiments. Okay, but like...
EA says, can you at least hurry a little?
Can you at least pay me a little? Keep in mind, okay, you got to see live how much I absolutely love and adore Mass Effect 2 and 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind that Mass Effect 3 made me not want to play those games for like 8 years. Because I couldn't get away from the feeling of, I know how this ends. None of this matters at all. And not even in,
Guess
like...
why I haven't played Half-Life in a long time.
It's,
and I've never actually played Half-Life 1 from start to finish.
It's totally that feeling, right?
And why I'll probably never play the Darksiders games again, just because that third one was so bad.
See, I have a
that
problem
third
because
one was terrible!
every time that you say those Darksiders games, I keep thinking you're talking about Darkstalkers, and I'm like, why are you so into this one fighting game from, like, the 90s that you never talk about? And I keep remembering, oh, that's a different game! But yeah.
It might even confound you as to why I'm so into those games.
I understand.
Darksiders.
No, like... I played that first one for a little bit.
That first one is the best one.
I liked it. I didn't like it enough to finish it, but I did like it. It's a Zelda, and I like
Pretty
Zelda.
much.
And console 3D Zelda is absolutely my shit.
Darksiders 1 is Zelda, Darksiders 2 is Zelda plus a bit of Diablo, and Darksiders 3 is Zelda plus Dark Souls minus Zelda.
Yeah.
Ah, that game sucks! It makes me so angry how much that game sucks.
And you know, here's the thing. While we're talking about Zelda, I fully intend to play Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and honestly, I fully intend to play every console Zelda with the possible exception for Majora's Mask. If I can't play a version of Majora's Mask with the 3DS remake stuff in it, then I won't play it. But if I can, then I will. And the only reason why we haven't played those games yet is because they haven't been, like, it seems like they will release some kind of Zelda 35, right? It seems like that is the smartest possible decision that you could make, and why would you ever not make it? But at the same time, they haven't done it yet. They didn't announce it at that Direct, and there's a lot of rumors going around that's saying that they're waiting for the Mario Direct, sorry, the Mario 35th anniversary to end before they announce what their plans are for Zelda 35, which is A, stupid. B, Zelda is better than Mario. Big contentious opinion, but I'm gonna hold that one until I die. But also, like...
Spoken like someone who does not like platformers, as we have well established.
Oh, that's right. But
It's contentious, but internally consistent. And I can't help but respect it. Although it helps that I agree.
That thing up there in the center, that looks like it came out of Majora's Mask.
Yeah?
Just like super... I mean, you know what? The inside of that kind of looks like Link's house.
Big tree.
Well, the thing that makes it seem that way for me is the warped polygonal texture on a tree, but also the super, super thin, like, lip of it on the top around the edge.
Yeah.
That, to me, is the most Majora's Mask thing I could imagine. Majora's Mask, by the way, is a good game. It's just, there's so much to keep track of that if you don't have the log, like the journal log that keeps track of everything that they made in the remake, that game would be a nightmare to play without, like...
It becomes like pathologic light.
Yeah, you literally would need, or at least I would literally need a, like a notebook, pen, and paper next to my microphone.
Like a game that is an honest-to-God masterpiece that is not meant to be played.
You know, that first, like, hour or two of Majora's Mask is not very fun. And I don't blame kid me for bouncing off of it so hard. Because, yeah, it doesn't want to be played. Because, yeah, totally, it is absolutely a masterpiece. I still like Ocarina more, but Majora's Mask has a lot of really, really good stuff in it.
The more I came to understand what the deal with Majora's Mask is, the more interested I became in the premise of it's Breath of the Wild, but it's also Majora's Mask.
Honestly, all they need to do for me to be... Like, the thing that I want more than anything out of Breath of the Wild 2 is the story that they brought with Majora's Mask. Like, just the writing chops and the tone.
The super dark and depressing style. And also Ganondorf's probably going to be in it, and you know I'm a big fan of that.
Ganondorf's great. I'm a big fan of, like, Ganondorf as a dude with a sword that you fight. Which is why Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are still fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Wind Waker and Twilight Princess have some of the best final bosses in games that I can think of. And it's not anything to do with gameplay, because it's like, they're super simple fights. But that's the point. They're very atmospheric.
It's Ganondorf.
It is a one-on-one sword fight with all of the stakes raised to the highest possible degree. Okay, how many more hamsters do we need? We need 5 more.
If you didn't already know it, it probably wouldn't surprise you to learn that I am a Ganondorf main in Smash.
I did know that. That's something we've talked... It probably doesn't surprise you to know that I am a solid Snake main in Smash.
That also does not surprise me.
Well, Solid Snake and Mewtwo. I play Mewtwo equally, I would say. But that also probably doesn't surprise you.
Man, I played Ganondorf back before they made him good. I played Smash 4 Ganondorf.
I'm sorry, Ganondorf? I think you're actually referring to Toria, I believe is his name. He's like a Pokemon.
I thought you were gonna say you're referring to Captain Falcon.
Captain Dorf? Captain Dorf.
Falcon Dorf.
Captain Endorphin? Captain Endorphin sounds like a video game.
Sounds like a bad licensed video game.
Yeah.
Like some offshoot of Osmosis Jones.
Captain Endorphin sounds like a Bible Games era SNES or DOSBox game.
You've collected the last of the hamsters.
That is an offshoot of Osmosis Jones.
Ozzy and Drix, baby, you know what it is. Oh, that's the end of the mission. Oh, it took 40 minutes. Yeah, that one took a little too long, I'm gonna go ahead and say.
That's the end of the mission, and I would also venture to say that it's probably the end of the stream.
Yes, we have about 5 minutes left, and I think as soon as we get back to gameplay, we're gonna call it for today. I like this game a lot. It's not perfect, but I'm surprised at how much fun I'm having.
Good work, number 3. Hey, what's that? Didn't I tell you to put all the hamsters back in the power core?
Aww, can't they just keep one?
I mean, we did have more than one hamster than we
We
needed.
can play games and do each other's hair and we'll be best friends. Pretty please.
Oh no! If I see one more hamster, I'm gonna...
Ah, come on. You're just mad because you peed on your shoes.
I did not!
They keep bringing it
I
up.
just stepped in a puddle. Or something.
All right, listen.
The Hideo
to me.
Kojima
It
video
seems
game.
Count Spankulot has a list of children to spank right here in our own neighborhood, and he's got help. After our last run-in with the Count, I'll be more than happy to take him down myself as payback.
Oh, Suburbia level?
Freeze, Count Spankulot! Hands where I can see him.
No, no, no! These hands are just getting warmed up! Already, my spank-happy minions are hard at work, spanking the naughty childrens in this neighborhood! Have you been naughty number 1? Eh? Well, have you? Aha! Oh, still plenty of darkness to enjoy before sunrise, and so many
How many
more
entries
buttons to
on
spank.
Archive of Our Own does Count Spankulot have?
Oh no.
That's for you to find out, and for me to never, ever, ever find out about.
You got as far as the word entries, and I already knew.
Time for your spanking.
All right, that's it. That's it for today. Here's one more thing that I want to say before we go that I think you'll appreciate, Bix.
Yeah.
The hamster minigame. You could see that because of the way that the hamsters are scurrying around and the way that the level is like not always as solid as it could be.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that they put in more hamsters than you need to complete all of the objectives. Because it's like, well, what if 2 of them just get stuck in a corner or fall out of the world? No, we can't fix the geometry, but what we can do is put in more hamsters just in case.
Just in case.
All right, I think that's going to be it for today. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We will see you... What is today? What day
Today is Thursday.
Today's Thursday. We'll see you in 2 days with more Mass Effect 3.
Oh, boy.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Take it easy.